30, we'll call the meeting of the Madison County Fiscal Court to order. Kenny?
Master King?
Here.
Master Barger?
Here.
Master Hughes?
Here.
Master Combs?
Here.
Judge Clark?
Here. You all have had a chance to look at the minutes of the last meeting. If there are no changes or discussion, a motion would be in order to approve those as submitted in your packets.
So moved. Second.
Master King?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Clark?
Yes. Okay. Now, before we get into any further, I'd like the court's permission to amend the agenda. And this is, we've been talking with Allen Company, who was the only bidder on the reconstruction of Whitehall Road. And we've kind of come to a conclusion on that contract. And I would like to amend the agenda to add that to the agenda today.
So moved.
Second.
Master King?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Clark?
Yes. Treasurer's report, we got that at the last meeting, so we'll have that next month. Let's go on into order of business, and first we'll talk about the Whitehall Road contract. As everybody's aware, this was money that we received through the General Assembly and discretionary money, $1 million to reconstruct that road, and also add 2 miles from 25 into the park of 10-foot wide blacktop walk and bike paths. It's been a little bit. Everything's been busy, but we've finally got the design done on that. And we've got a contract. You all have got a copy of that contract. And it comes in. We're still talking with the state, looking at some items that we might delete to get that price down, but we're going to be okay on the money as far as design. We're not going to have to buy any right away. We've already got that. So everything looks good. If you'll look at the contract, the bid price, and Allen Company was the only bidder on this project. It's $960,185. Like I said, we are working on lowering that price some, and we think we've come to terms, but I'll report back to the court when we have that. But we have to approve this contract as it was originally bid.
Is the road going to vary from what it is now? Or?
No.
Okay.
Same road. It's just the reconstruction. It'll have 5-foot shoulders, Roger, and then the 10-foot wide bike path.
Okay.
And I'll be glad to answer any questions anybody might have. Copies available for anybody if they'd like to see. But like I said, we're negotiating some of the things with the state to see if we can delete to get the cost down just a little bit.
Did you get it worked out? The back trail's going to go over the hill too, or does it stop at the top of the hill?
On which one, Greg?
On Wilderness Trail.
No, we're talking about Whitehall Park.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I was thinking.
We're working on that with the design right now.
Okay.
So if
That's right.
any questions from the audience? If not, motion will be in order to approve the contract with Allen Company on the reconstruction of Whitehall Lane.
So moved.
Second.
Master King?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Clark?
Yes. As you all know, when we've talked about it, Roger and I get, I think, more calls than anybody. But we've got a terrible problem with solicitation out at the exit 95, the Boonesboro exit. Seems like we have some people that like to camp out there. Linda was going home for lunch yesterday, and there was a family of 4 that were soliciting money for food or work or whatever. So we've been looking at this, looking at some model ordinances. We've kind of come to a conclusion. We wanted to do something that's short, sweet, to the point. And you all have in your packets what I felt was really addressed the issue without going into a lot of detail. Mark, this will be first reading, and Mark's come up with a few ideas that we might add to this as far as charities that want to do charitable work, collect money like the rescue squad and stuff. So we might want to include something like that for a permit. But other than that, this is first reading, and as you all know, it can be changed before second reading, and you all will be notified. But we really need to get something on the book so we can get this initiated and get started, so the police have something to go by to get those people off exit 95, because they are a hazard and they're a danger to the drivers that are using that exit.
Let me add there that the police officer that I've been talking with that's dealt with this, he informed me that they don't leave them high and dry. If they're needing help, he's got a list of places that he can send them to or try to get them help. It's not that they just run them off and don't recommend where they can find help at, so.
There's all types of agencies that they could be directed to if
That's
they're
right.
in need of food or shelter or clothing, basic necessities, and nobody's gonna try to do anything to discourage folks getting
Right,
that. But
that's right.
just the danger that poses in these particular areas, and it's countywide, but there's a few spots in particular that are
Yeah.
pretty tough. And I think this will address it. There's a few little technical things that we might want to think about changing. It won't change the basic effect of the ordinance, though.
Right.
But getting it done is probably a good idea in the first reading.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I know that they try to make sure that folks have every advantage at their disposal as far as any type of necessities.
Need a motion?
Yes, sir.
Need a motion that we accept this ordinance?
Second.
Master King,
Yes.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Judge Clark.
Yes. Okay, it'll be first reading, and if y'all do have any ideas before second reading, but it will be on the agenda at our next meeting, so we can go on and get this initiated. Next on the agenda is our state road maintenance contract, and you all have a copy of that in your packets. This is a contract that we came up with working with the state. We, as far as I know, we're the only county in the state that participates in this program with District 7, and it's more or less where we take care of routine maintenance on the rural secondary roads for the state. We can really provide more service. We have more help than the state does. And it's just a good deal. We collect $500 a mile for this, and the total, we get $179,771.25 per quarter. This was $450, and we agreed to raise it to do striping, and we're doing that over a third, and then we'll start again. But that extra $50 a mile was to cover that, and we added that last year. So it's been good. We make a little money on this contract. It provides extra source of revenue for the road department. 1 year is the only year that we really didn't come out at least even. We lost a little bit, and that's when we had to buy so much salt.
Yep.
So if there are no questions, a motion will be in order to approve the ongoing agreement with the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet on the state road maintenance contract.
So moved.
Second.
Master King,
Yes.
Master Barger.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Judge Clark.
Yes. Next is appointment to the Madison County Utility District, and I've talked to the chairman, and the board has kind of talked, and they'd like to recommend to me, and I'd like to recommend to you all to reappoint John Tudor as a board member to the Madison County Utilities Board. John served one term, and Jim tells me he does an excellent job. He's always there at the meetings, and he gets involved, and he goes out when he needs to. So I would open the floor for discussion if anybody wanted to ask any questions. If not, upon my recommendation, I'd like to reappoint John Tudor to the Madison County Utility Board.
So moved. Second.
Master King,
Yes.
Master Barger.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Judge Clark.
Yes. Have one other appointment, and that's to the Southern Madison Water Board. And at this time, I'd like to reappoint Larry Todd. Larry's been chairman down there. They do an outstanding job. They're currently working with Berea on a fire hydrant program of 50-50, where they're going into areas that Southern Madison serves but are in the city of Berea. They're currently undergoing an upgrade on Scaffold Cane Road that they were able to get some money from the state for. So they're just rolling along in Southern Madison. Larry's doing an excellent job. And under the circumstances right now, I'd really love to keep Larry Todd on that board, because his knowledge and experience is invaluable, really, to that group right now. They're doing so much down on the southern end. So I'd like to ask the court's permission to reappoint Larry Todd to the Southern Madison Water Board.
So moved. Second.
Master King,
Yes.
Master Barger.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Judge Clark.
Yes. Next is second reading of a couple of budget amendments we talked about at the last meeting. The first one is ordinance 1304, and this is on the road fund. And I'll explain to you all that weren't at the last meeting. This is money that's left over in line items that we put back into reserve for transfer. and they were reserved for transfers to cover any deficits at the end of the fiscal year. The first one, ordinance 1304, is transportation cabinet was $61,000, and truck license distribution was $31,000. It was over budgeted. It was really up. We had several line items of revenues that were way over what we expected, for a total of $92,995 that will go into reserve for transfer for the road department.
So moved.
Second.
Master King,
Yes.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Master Hughes, Master Combs,
Yes.
Judge Clark.
Yes. Next is ordinance 1305, and this is same circumstances. Money from local corrections assistance, work release, and jail reimbursements, for a total of $54,765 that will go in from these line items to close the fiscal year out into the reserve for transfer for the jail. And be more than glad to answer any questions anybody might have. If not, motion to approve ordinance 1305 would be.
So moved.
Second.
Master King,
Yes.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Judge Clark.
Yes. Next is personnel, animal shelter. Keith's here. Keith, you want to come up? I think he's written you all we're going to try to do this a little bit more of the applicants, and Keith gets it down like all supervisors do when they recommend somebody to the court, to get it down to like 3 or 4 to interview. And Keith's done an excellent job, as he always does. And he has a recommendation for the court to fill that last position at the animal shelter.
I'd like to recommend Jeffrey Scott Lowry. The salary starts at $9.25. There is a 6-month probationary period. They do on-the-job training, and it's customary at the end of the 6 months that they get 50 to 75 cents, depending on their performance at that time. So the total will be $10 once they're made permanent.
What will his title be, Keith?
Animal control officer.
How many applicants do you have?
Well, 4 directly for that and 6 total.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? If not, on Keith's recommendation, a motion would be in order to hire Jeffrey Lowry as animal control officer.
So moved.
Second.
Master King,
Yes.
Master Barger.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Judge Clark.
Yes.
Thank you,
Next on the agenda is open bids on the portable generator for Carl. Mark, you have those, you've looked.
Judge, I've opened the bids this morning. They were all properly sealed, and Carl, I'm assuming they were all received within the mandated timeframes? That is correct. Okay.
Okay.
One is from Nixon Power Services Company, another's from Wayne Supply, and then the third from Evapor out of Louisville. As always, we'll hand these to the appropriate agency for their review, then come back and report the next meeting.
Okay. And Carl, as always, you and your staff will review, make phone calls, and come back with a recommendation.
Correct.
Okay. Next is open bids on a rock, gas, oil, and culverts. You got those, Mark?
I do, and Judge, the same thing. I have opened those this morning in the open court meeting. They were all properly sealed. Leroy, it looks like that we've got bids for the, I guess, the gas and diesel from Kentucky Petroleum, also from Richmond Petroleum, and then Riley Oil, and then there was one bid from the Allen Company for the rock.
Yes.
Okay,
Same
and
process as always.
Leroy, same process. Leroy will take all those in consideration, make calls, and confirm recommendation to the court next meeting. Okay, judge's report, I've just got a couple of things. We've been notified, and everybody will hear this. It'll be on local radio and the TV stations and stuff. Lane closure scheduled for I-75 for milling and paving. Tuesday, June 11th, work will begin through Friday, the June 14th, from 9 to 3 o'clock each day, and then Monday, June 17th, Monday through Friday of each week until the project's deemed complete. And these milling and repavements are going to be on exit 97, exit 95, exit 87 on the southbound, and exit 87, exit 90, exit 95, and exit 97 on the northbound. And we can make a copy of, anybody'd like a copy of this, they can come in the office after the court meeting. But District 7 had asked me to announce that in the meeting. And secondly, a special event that's coming up, it's our Wounded Warrior Project Benefit event. We've always been a supporter of this, and they're changing a little bit now. Saturday, June 15th, there'll be a horseback and tractor wagon pull. It's out at the Wildlife Management Area in Dreyfus. Veterans are free. It's a $25 check per family. It's tax deductible, and it's a kind of hayride, potluck dinner. Just everybody gets together and gives these special people, a little recognition of how much we appreciate what they've done for the country. So I just wanted to announce that for everybody. And that's really all I've got in the judge's report. I'll ask for department heads. Scott, you want to come up?
Good morning, everyone. I just want to come up and give a friendly reminder that Kentucky River Sweep is this Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. down at the Boonesboro Beach. We'll get started cleaning up that area. We went and inspected it yesterday, and as usual, unfortunately, there's still about the same amount of trash piled up on the shorelines on Clark County and in Madison County in that area. So we'll get started cleaning that up, and everything will be good on the river. So,
Thanks, Scott. Everything else going okay?
everything good?
Yeah, I want to ask about the animal pickup truck.
Yes, I was going to mention that as well. We've hit a small delay in the shipping date of that of arrival. Basically the walking floor part, the aluminum of the walking floor, which is basically in building terms would be the subfloor of the bed. The availability of that nationwide around the nation for someone to manufacture it has hit back order, and that's what the delay is about. So.
Any idea how long?
We're looking at, our contractor told me last week, July 15th would be the hopeful arrival date. Everything ready to go.
Okay.
So.
What will be our plans when we get that? I mean, we're gonna run the old truck or?
The old truck will be used as a spare if the new truck is down for maintenance. Larry,
Old truck's just like a new one, as much money as we spend on.
yeah, that's true. It's also got 12 years of wear and tear on it. The bed is actually starting to show its age. We had to do some re-welding on it about a month ago and shore up a few welds here, but the flooring in it is showing 12 years worth of use. So it'll be a good spare.
Very good program.
And so everything's good.
Thanks, Scott. Any other department heads? Leroy?
I've got something, Judge.
Jim?
I've got something, Judge.
Kenny?
The 20th of this month, that'll be next week, Secretary Grimes is coming down to the Extension Office to do a town hall meeting on elections. And it's wide open. Anything, anybody, comments, concerns, suggestions, anything anybody has to discuss, come to the meeting. It starts at 5:30, probably lasts about an hour and a half. This is the last one she's done. She's done 6 of these across the state to try to get input from the citizens about how they feel about the electoral process and what they think should be changed.
Good. Good deal. Allison does a wonderful job, too. She's excellent. No other department heads? Comments from magistrates? Greg?
Everything's good.
Roger?
Only thing I got is just a reminder for everybody that Relay for Life is this Friday night at Michael B. Caudle. I'm not sure about the time, but it's probably 6 o'clock. It's a great event. Appreciate if everybody come out and support us.
They always have a big crowd.
Big crowd.
Really do. Bill Ray?
What's the status on the US 25 widening project there at Kroger? Seemed like that's hit a.
Utilities.
What's going to happen?
It's just, well, I had a meeting with the chief district engineer, and they're looking at a time frame. I think I talked about it in the chamber thing of end of the year. It's just utilities are hard to deal with. We ran into that on Barnes Mill and held us up a year and 2 months on the one section. So it's hard to do, and you're at their mercy. You got to, when they get it done, then they can go back to work. But that's the holdup right now. I mean, it isn't the weather, and it isn't the lack of being able to do the job. It's just they've gone as far as they can go until the utilities are fixed or moved.
Is that Kentucky Utilities?
I'm not getting into that, Bill Ray, talking about the utilities.
Yes, that's who it is. I know, they've delayed me too. I'm gonna be on the pharmacy out there, I know.
Larry, do you have anything?
Yes, Judge, I got one thing. This Dr. Mims that's doing this research on paddlefish down here at Willow Green, has he got a contract?
he's got a contract with Fish and Wildlife.
But that's not good for our lake, is it?
Well-
They don't stock our lake.
I know they don't. It's really, they kind of went around us, but we don't own the lake. We own down to the shoreline. The Corps of Engineers owns the lake. So he's worked with them, and he's called me 3 or 4 times because Randy Nunley and some of the guys down at the boat dock don't like him taking some fish out, but everything they take out, they're putting one back in.
Has he put him back?
Yes.
He has.
Yeah, and then he'd ask me because Fish and Wildlife is looking into the matter and seeing whether they're going to allow him to do it or not. So I think he's in contact with our senator and maybe our state representative to work with Fish and Wildlife to secure some kind of contract, but we really don't own the lake. I mean, of course, we own down to a imaginary line down to the shoreline, but, we manage it and stuff, but they come in and tell us when to mow the dam and what we need to do as far as trees and things like that. So we're kind of at their mercy, and I've kind of advised him to get with the Corps and let the Corps talk with Fish and Wildlife and come to some kind of understanding of where all parties are in agreement. The paddlefish people will talk about it's a revenue source for a lot of places with the lakes, because it's so rare. But I don't know how long it'd be before we benefited from that. But any option to look at is reasonable, I think. But he's replacing every fish he takes out. He's putting something back.
Well, I know when you say paddlefish, you're talking about catfish, but he's taking bass out too, because I talked to about 50 of those anglers. Man, they're upset over it, which I don't blame them. But, this guy was indicted on federal charges once for this same thing. So it might be time that we investigate that.
Well, I don't know what we'd investigate. It'd be up to Fish and Wildlife and the Corps.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Unless,
They don't stop that. I mean, they don't. And I see why the local anglers are displeased with it, because they're taking those bass out. And like he said in his letter, when he shocks them, he kills them. But he's got a private company he sells that caviar to.
Does he not replace the bass when he takes them out too?
I've asked that
Yes.
question, and he's supposed to, but they said they hadn't seen any put back in, but I'm sure he probably is. But
I think
somebody
that's
ought to be there when he does.
that's his agreement, that anything he takes out, he puts back.
Some
It's
of
some
them said
kind
they
of
wouldn't-
research development project to see if the pit fish could survive, and then could they be harvested, sold at market and stuff. So it's kind of a research study is what it is.
It's all research. He got $600,000 for it,
Mhm.
USDA grant. That's all, Judge.
Okay. Comments from the audience? Anybody here like to come up, say a few words? If not, next court meeting will be June the 29th here at the courthouse, and we'll have second reading of the budget ready for you then. And I'll be calling you on the next 2 weeks in if you've got any changes. We've all talked about a few changes that y'all would like to see, so we're trying to incorporate them into the budget. And we'll have that. And if there's no further business, the motion will be in order to pay the claims and approve the transfers.
So move.
Second.
And Judge, I'm sorry, before we wrap up, can we confirm that date, the next meeting? Because I've got that as a Sunday or Saturday.
I'm just looking at what
And
they
I don't
put on the
mind working
agenda.
Saturday, I understand, but, I mean, I don't know if anybody else wants to be here or not.
Chris, you got one. I know you've
Is it
got
the
some.
typical rotation?
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be the 25th, so
Okay.
Okay. I just didn't know whether that would change. 25th. All right, thank you.
All right, the 25th. Motion to approve the claims.
Got a motion second.
transfers.
Master King.
Yes.
Master Barger.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Judge Clark.
Yes. Thank everybody for coming in. We appreciate it. We love to see nice crowds at our court meetings. And a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Don't move, second.
Gotcha.